Hello, loves. Welcome back to another Heart to Heart on the At Home with Founders podcast. Today, we are talking about something that is happening in your business every single day, whether you are actively thinking about it or not. And that is your client experience, your client journey, the process that clients go through when they are working with you. And listen, I know that this may not be the sexiest topic when we talk about scaling or growing a business. It's way more exciting to think about launching a new offer, a new product, hitting that next milestone or income goal, or building out a dream team. But hear me out. Here's the thing. Your client journey, your client experience, it is a direct reflection of your business. It shows clients how organized or unorganized you are. It influences them on whether they can trust you enough to rebook you to become a repeat client or to share your name with people that they know. So it literally determines how they talk about you when you are not in the room, which for most of us online businesses, we are majority of the time not in the same room. The craziest part, most business owners don't intentionally think about this. We focus so much of our time and our energy getting new clients in that we don't always think about how we keep them engaged and excited through the entire process of working with our brands, our businesses. So today I thought that we could get into it. We could do a deep dive into client experience. So we're going to talk about the following things: what your client journey says about your business and your brand, how you can improve it at every stage, which we will cover what the stages are. So from first impression to that final goodbye, and then the small but powerful shifts that will make your client experience feel next level, feel very intentional and luxurious. And no, that doesn't just mean giving them a fancy gift at the end. So let's be real. Having a great client experience isn't just about being really friendly and easy to get along with or sending out really cute gifts. It's about making people feel deeply supported, clear, valued throughout every single interaction that you are having with them throughout that partnership. So I invite you to grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, get cozy with me. I'm very cozy today, and let's break this down together. So we're going to start with a very quick reality check. So whether or not you've intentionally designed your client journey, you already have one. And right now it is either working for you, so it's creating a very seamless, polished experience that builds trust and authority with your clients, or it's working against you. So it's causing confusion with your clients, it's creating more admin work for you and your team, and it's creating missed opportunities or potentially costing you money. So let me ask you this. If you were your own client, would you feel fully taken care of at every step of the process of working with you? Would you feel excited to work with you? Or would you feel lost at times, unsure of what the next steps are, what you can expect next, or when? Think about the last time that you had an exceptional service experience. So take a moment and think about that. Maybe you booked, and this is an example for me, maybe you booked a facial at a high-end spa. This is one of my go-to examples because honestly, I could live at a really good spa. The moment that you walked in, the atmosphere was warm and inviting. The receptionist or the concierge greeted you by name. They offered you a tea or even better, a signature beverage, and walked you through exactly what to expect throughout your entire experience. During your service, your esthetician checked in, adjusted the pressure based off of the feedback that you were giving, and made you feel completely relaxed. They didn't overtalk throughout, leaving you relaxed with calm music playing fully in the background. Now, what happens at the end? They didn't just say, thanks, bye. They gave you a detailed aftercare plan, a sample of your favorite products, and even set up a follow-up appointment so that you can maintain that glow that you just achieved. And perhaps they took it up another level. To top it all off, they texted you a couple days later just to check in to see how your skin was feeling, how you were enjoying any new products that you purchased that you were maybe trying out for the first time, see if you had any additional questions or reactions or anything like that that they could support you with. So this was not just a facial at a spa. It was an entire experience. And you better believe that when someone asks for a spa recommendation, this is going to be the first name that comes to mind because of that experience. Now, this is exactly what should happen in your business with your clients. Your client experience should be smooth, it should be thoughtful, and it should be high touch, that it becomes part of your brand's reputation. And our reputation is absolutely everything. Now, we're going to flip it and look at a poor experience so that you can see the difference between the two. So imagine you book a photographer for a brand shoot. I've done this before, but I've had great experiences. Their portfolio looks super high end. They are incredible at what they do, and you are so excited. You're so pumped to get your brand photos done by them. But then you don't hear from them for weeks after booking. You maybe have to follow up just to confirm details. You don't know where to park. You don't know how to be best prepared for a photo shoot. The day of the shoot feels very rushed and kind of chaotic, leaving you feeling a little bit stressed out and unsure. And then after, it takes forever to get your photos back. And there's no communication or clear next steps as to exactly when to expect them. Now, even if the photos are beautiful, the experience was not great. You did not feel excited to work with them afterwards again, so you're not going to be rebooking them, and you probably won't rave about them to your friends despite how great the photos look. See how much that matters? Like, can you see the difference between how those experiences made you feel? It's not just about delivering great results. It's about how you make people feel while they're working with you, while they are in the partnership of whatever project it is that they've engaged you with. So we now know that your client journey is either building your reputation or it's working against you. But let's get very specific. What does a great client journey actually look like? And more importantly, how are you going to improve yours if there are gaps that you've identified? So I like to think of it in, I would say, 5 key phases. So phase 1 is the awareness and the attraction. So how clients find you in the first place and form their very first impressions of you and your brand. The second phase is inquiry and onboarding. So the moment that they reach out and they touch base and officially become a client of yours. Third phase is the delivery experience, the actual process of working together. The fourth phase is offboarding and post-project care, so wrapping things up in a very thoughtful way. And the fifth phase is nurture, retention, and referrals. So staying connected with them and building long-term relationships that are not just transactional. So we are going to break down each of these 5 phases with real examples so that you can start identifying exactly where your client experience could be smoother, maybe more aligned, or just better and more elevated, so that it aligns with how you are wanting to show up in your business, with your clients, and in your community. So let's dive into phase 1, the awareness and the attraction, the first impressions of your business, and they matter so much. So you know that feeling when you stumble onto a brand online, maybe on social media, on Instagram, and everything just clicks. You know, their messaging, it honestly resonates on such a deep emotional level with you. It feels like they're speaking directly to you. Their branding feels so polished, but not forced. Their content makes you think, wow, I need this in my life. Well, that's exactly what an aligned awareness and attraction phase looks like. This is exactly what we are aiming for. It's that first moment when a potential client comes across your business, whether it's through Instagram, a referral, a podcast interview that you were on, or even a random Google search. And here's where a lot of business owners lose people before they even inquire. If your brand presence, the consistency of your brand aesthetic, the look and feel, your messaging, if it's inconsistent and it's unclear, or it's actually disconnected from your process, what they can actually expect working with you, people are going to hesitate. They're going to click away. They're going to go somewhere else. They're going to keep scrolling. They're just going to click right by you. But if your marketing is clean, it's clear, and it's aligned with the experience that they're actually going to get, they're instantly going to trust you, even before they've met you. So, how you can improve this phase, if this is something that you are currently struggling with, if you've identified that there's some gaps there that you can improve, you want to make sure that your messaging matches the actual client experience that they're going to go through. So, if your website, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your Pinterest, your Facebook, whatever it is that you have, make you look like a high touch, a boutique service provider, but your back end is chaotic and unorganized, it's a mismatch. So you want to take a look at your brand. Does it accurately reflect how it feels to work with you? Make it crystal clear what the next steps are for them to take action and to engage your services. If a potential client lands on one of your pages, again, your website, your LinkedIn, your podcast, your Instagram, and doesn't know what to do next, that's a huge problem. So do they book a discovery call? Do they fill out a form? Do they simply DM you? What is their next step? So be explicit about that so that they don't have to sit there and wonder. You want it to be a no-brainer for them. You also want to be where your ideal clients are, right? So you might enjoy Instagram. You might enjoy the platform over everything else. But if you're only posting on Instagram, but your dream clients are actually active on LinkedIn, and they are not searching for people like you on Instagram, they're maybe scrolling and watching puppy videos there, you're missing out. So think about where your people actually hang out and what their behaviors are on those platforms, and show up where it's going to be the most aligned. Now, phase 2 is the inquiry and the onboarding phase, the moment that they say yes, right? All right, so let's talk about that moment when a potential client, a lead, reaches out to you and they are interested in engaging you for your services. This is huge. They've seen something in you that made them say, yes, I want to explore this. I want to learn more. I want to meet this person, ask questions, and see if this is a good fit. But here's where a lot of business owners unintentionally create friction in this phase of the client experience. Maybe that lead, that potential client, inquires and they don't get a response for days. It's happened to me. They have to follow up to confirm any next steps. Maybe the process feels unclear, slow, clunky, which I've experienced, or disorganized. So they're getting things from all these different ways. What happens? Well, doubt starts to creep in, honestly. They start to question, is this person too busy for me? Should I be looking at other options? Do they really know what they're doing? I don't know what happens next, so maybe I'll just wait. These are all things that I've thought as well, engaging people who honestly didn't have their operations set up appropriately. So what you can do to improve this phase, if it's something that you are struggling with, if you've identified gaps as well, you want to have an automated inquiry process. So people that or inquire with you, they reach out to you, they don't expect an immediate personal reply, but they do expect confirmation that their inquiry was received and when they can receive or expect to receive a response. You want to set up an automated email that maybe thanks them, confirms their next steps, gives them a time frame for your response. And then you also want to make your onboarding process very seamless. So I've had experiences where I've gotten contracts from one system, the invoice from another one in a separate email, and in the whole onboarding process, I got like 5 emails. It was ridiculous. So make your onboarding process seamless. Can they easily book a call? Are your contracts and your invoices sent quickly but streamlined? Is everything smooth from the moment that they say yes to working with you? I encourage you to use a CRM to manage this process so that you can streamline it and not just make things easier for you, but make it easy for the client to go through as well. So if you're still manually responding to every single inquiry, you're chasing contracts, you're following up for payments, do yourself a favor and invest in a CRM like Dubsado. There's also Honeybook. You can use ClickUp for certain things as well. There's Pipedrive, depending on exactly what features you need, but there are many CRMs out there to support you. So think of this phase like a fancy restaurant reservation. If you book a table at a Michelin star restaurant, you immediately get confirmation, details on what to expect next, and sometimes even a personalized touch. That is how your onboarding should feel when somebody books a service to work with you. Now, phase 3, the delivery experience. This is the core of your service, of course, because they are engaging you for a service. All right, so they've booked, but now comes the actual work. So this is where people experience your business in real time. They get to see how you deliver your service, what exactly is involved in the process. And here's what makes the biggest difference between a basic service provider and a high-end, high-touch, in-demand expert, which I think we all want to be. Number 1 is crystal freaking clear communication. Proactive support, not reactive. Making the process feel easy, not overwhelming, not just for you as the person that is delivering it, but for the person that is receiving it. So if this is, again, something that you feel is lacking in your client journey, you can improve this phase by 1, having a clear process. Do clients always know what is happening next? Do you check in with them on a regular basis, or do you just go quiet until the delivery day? The next one is surprise and delight moments, which we can get into a little bit more here. A bonus resource could be a personalized email, maybe a small unexpected win, anything like that that just is not expected from you, right? Give them a little bit of something extra to make them feel really cared about and really taken care of, essentially. You want to make them feel like VIPs, not just another client on their roster, another project in your queue. You want to make them feel like you really intentionally care about having their business and their trust, because they're paying you their hard-earned dollars to support them. Check in before they have to ask any questions. Instead of waiting for questions, send proactive updates, right? So here's an example. Hey, just a quick update. I finished the first draft of XYZ, and I will have your review copy by end of day Friday. Give specific time frames, but make sure you give yourself a cushion just in case anything happens. Then you can say, let me know if you have any questions leading up until that point. Great service isn't just about delivering on time. It's about making the process feel luxurious, thoughtful, and easy for the client specifically. Now, phase 4 is offboarding and post-project care. So ending your partnership on a really high note. So you know how some business ghost you. This is really bad. Ghost you the second that the invoice is paid. Let's not be those people, right? Let's treat this experience, let's treat this partnership with the respect that it deserves. So how you wrap up a project, a partnership, is just as important as how you start it. If the offboarding feels rushed or maybe transactional, clients won't feel as a very strong connection to your brand. They will feel very disconnected from you as well as your brand. But if you take the time to end it with care and with intention, they're going to rave about you long after the project ends. So again, if you've identified that this is maybe an area that you struggle with and you want to improve this phase of your client journey, you could do so by sending a warm final email. And this is where you thank them genuinely. Perhaps you recap exactly what was accomplished during your time together. Maybe you give them next step recommendations. So maybe you weren't able to get through everything that they could potentially need because they had a budget in mind, but you give them, this is what you need to work on next, etc. You give them any next steps or a resource to continue their success. And then you ask for feedback, not just a testimonial, because their voice matters, right? Learn from their experience so that you can continuously improve your service and elevate how you serve your clients. You can send a thoughtful client gift. You could do so at the very beginning or at the end, totally up to you if you want. This could be branded merchandise. It could be a personalized note, a curated gift box potentially. I personally like to send a curated gift box that is personalized to that individual and what I feel that they would enjoy. Now, phase 5 is retention and referrals. So you want to keep that relationship that you worked so hard to build. You want to keep it alive. So let's talk about something that most business owners completely ignore. Every single client that I've worked with, unfortunately, has ignored this step. So staying connected with past clients after the work is done is something that almost every single person ignores. And I totally get why. Once a project wraps up, you're moving on to that next thing, that next client, the next project, whatever it is. And maybe they are actually too. It's easy to assume, well, that was great, but it's over. Let's move on. This is a big mistake. Your past clients are your warmest audience. You've already built that relationship. They hopefully are very happy with the service that they've experienced from you. So think about it. They already know you, they already trust you, and they love your work. They've invested in you before, which means they're way more likely to do it again. So here's the thing, if they never hear from you again after your partnership and your project ends, you're going to start to fade from their mind. And not in a bad way. That's just life. People move on, right? Like if you're not front and center at all times, slowly they will basically forget about you to a certain degree. And this is where business owners miss out, because if you put in a little effort into maintaining that relationship that you've taken so long to build, one, clients will come back when they're ready for more support from you. They will refer you like crazy because they feel so connected to you. I've had clients share my name in every single situation that they possibly felt they could. You'll stand out from competitors who don't do this, and that makes all the difference. You want to be unique in the way that you are showing up in your business and with your clients. So let's talk about how you can intentionally nurture past clients without it feeling awkward or potentially salesy, which is something that I strive to completely steer away from. Now, the biggest mistake is ghosting your clients after the invoice is paid. You know how weird it is and how weird it feels when you have an amazing dinner at a restaurant, and then the second that you pay the bill, it's like they forgot you exist. They never come back to check in. Maybe you wanted another drink and they've completely forgot about you. No, thank you. No come back soon, potentially. Nothing. They're gone. Maybe the server wasn't even the one that took the payment. Now compare that to a place that follows up. Maybe they send a personal email a week later thanking you for coming in. Maybe they give you a discount for your next visit. Maybe they just say, "We loved having you here. We hope you join us again. It would be our honor to serve you." Which one are you more likely to return to? Exactly. Of course, the one where you had a better experience. Yet, so many business owners ghost their clients the second that the project and the partnership is done. So there's no follow-up, no check-ins, even down the road, no little touch base to see how things are going, no effort to keep the relationship warm, no DM on Instagram on milestones or congratulations if something was achieved or on their birthday or holidays or anything like that. And that is honestly leaving money and opportunities on the table. So let's fix it because you cannot continue this way. So how do you stay connected with past clients without it feeling salesy? And this is my approach. So take what applies to you, what resonates with you. You can even use this as a jumping off point to see what else you can create that aligns more with your business. So we know we don't just want to disappear after a project or a partnership ends, but what does staying in touch actually look like? And how do you do it in a way that feels genuine, that feels kind, and not like you're just trying to sell them something else? Here are some examples of intentional ways that you can keep the relationship warm. So you can have a nurture sequence. So like the how's it going check-in 3 months later. This could be a quick email or even a DM to see how they are doing. No sales pitch, just a hey, I was thinking about you. How's everything going since we wrapped up our project? I would love to hear what's been going on in your business, in your life, just keep it personal. This keeps you top of mind and opens the door for future work naturally. But it also continues that relationship where they feel like they were not just dollars to you. Two, you could invite them into an exclusive past client circle. So if you have multiple offers, you could create a private VIP list for past clients where they get first dibs on new offers, exclusive discounts, behind the scenes updates. I've seen people create like Slack channels for past clients where they can connect and get support. You can do like monthly office hours or quarterly office hours, just anything that will help them feel valued and keeps them engaged with your brand, but doesn't take a huge amount of effort for you to put out. Three, you can feature them in your content. So if they had an amazing transformation from working with you, highlight it, share it to your stories, of course, with their permission. Share it in your emails, your social media, your website. Not only does this showcase their success, but it reminds them how much they loved working with you, right? Case studies are huge. This is not just great for showcasing that, but also for proving to others the value that you bring to working with your clients. Four is send a surprise and delight bonus. So maybe a few months after working together, you could send them a free resource, a free training, or maybe a helpful tip based off of something that you know that they struggled with that maybe you learned something new about, or maybe it's a book that you think that they would really love based off of what you know that they enjoy. So for example, if you built someone a website, you could send them an SEO checklist maybe 6 months later. If you're a business coach, you could potentially send how to stay motivated. And that could be a guide maybe a little bit down the road. It's a small effort that creates that huge goodwill, that shows them that you care beyond the transaction, right? Five is setting up a referral program that actually feels good. So instead of just saying, send me all the referrals, it's a win-win, offer a discount. Offer a free session or even a gift when they send you a new client. Keep it super personal. Say that I'd love to work with more amazing clients like you. If you know someone that would be a great fit, I'd love for you to send them my way or do an introduction and I'll take it from there. And I'd love to gift you something XYZ if they book. These are all super low, simple efforts that you can take or do that are going to make a huge difference in keeping those past clients connected to you in some way. And it doesn't have to be huge. Now, what if your service is actually really one and done? Like that's it. There's not much beyond it. Maybe you're a web designer, maybe a brand strategist or a consultant, and once the project is finished, there's no real natural next step. That doesn't mean that the relationship actually has to completely end there. So instead, you could create possibly post-project offers that are only exclusively available to those past clients. So perhaps that could be VIP support days, maybe a half day or a full day where a past client can book you for a deep dive session to troubleshoot, strategize, or maybe refine their work, because we all know that there's never that end result with things. Things are constantly evolution, they're evolving. So, for example, this could be a brand designer. They could offer them a brand refresh day where clients get quick updates or refinements where needed. So maybe a color needs to be shifted, or a brand font, or some kind of aesthetic, or maybe social media templates need a refresh, etc. Another example could be retainer or maintenance packages. So if your work requires ongoing support like social media, copywriting, tech setup, you could offer a monthly retainer just for past clients. So this could be a web designer could offer quarterly website checkups just to make sure that everything is running smoothly on the back end and there's no glitches or anything that's causing any issues there. Another one is discounts on future offers. So if you run courses, if you have group programs or containers, or you have new offers that you are launching, you can let the past clients that you have join at a special discounted rate, only exclusively available to them. So this keeps them in your world and it makes it easier for them to work with you again at some point in the future when it aligns for them. So the key here is to make it easy for past clients to stay engaged with you. If you give them a reason to come back, many of them actually will, as long as it was a good experience for them. So the main thing that I want you to take away from this is don't let the relationship die after the project or the partnership ends. It doesn't stay much, honestly. It doesn't take much, honestly, to stay connected with them. One email every 3 months. But honestly, those little small efforts that you build out into your experience, they create repeat clients. They create powerful referrals and they create long-term brand loyalty. And how much easier it is to hit those revenue milestones from repeat clients rather than bringing in new leads all the time. So this week, I really want you to choose one way to nurture your past clients. Maybe it's sending a check-in email. Maybe it's inviting them into a VIP list. Maybe it's finally setting up that referral program that you have yet to do. Whatever it is, I just want you to take one small action. And if you do, I would love for you to tag me on Instagram and let me know what you're trying. I would love to hear it and I'd love to cheer you on. So share it on your stories or even just send me a DM. I'm here for it. But wow, this was a very big conversation today, and I feel like we probably could have kept it going forever, especially if we were actually one-on-one together. But if there's one thing that I want you to take away from this entire conversation, it's this. Your client journey is the foundation. Well, it's one of the foundations, the very critical foundations of your entire business, especially if you are a service-based provider. It's not just about delivering great work. It's about how you make your people feel from the very first moment that they find you to long after your work together ends. So, if you can create a client experience that feels smooth, that feels really intentional and deeply supported, your clients will absolutely talk about you behind your back in a good way. They will come back and become repeat clients when they need more of your support, and they will refer you to other dream clients that you want more of. And why wouldn't you want that? So I don't want you to just listen to this episode. I want you to take action on it because that is what we are all about here. We're all about implementation and improving how we operate in our businesses. So here's your challenge for the week. Look at your client experience journey. Choose one area to refine. So one of the phases, you can audit and see exactly which one is going to make the biggest impact for you spending time on it. Maybe it is setting up an automated inquiry response so that new leads don't feel like they're left hanging when they reach out. Maybe it's sending a surprise and delight touch point to a current client that maybe you haven't communicated with in a little bit. Maybe it's creating a simple how's it going check-in email for past clients. It doesn't have to be huge. Even any small shifts can make a massive impact over time. And I'm all about the small, tiny steps because they truly make the biggest impact. They compound over time and create massive shifts. But when you do this, I want to hear about it. So please do reach out on Instagram and tell me exactly what change you are making in your client experience to elevate how you are serving your clients, because I want to cheer you on and I want to support you. But also, if you have any questions, if you need to brainstorm anything, please do reach out. I'm here to support. So I want to celebrate your wins. But if today's episode resonated with you, it would mean the absolute world to me. You've left a quick review on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify, whichever platform you are tuning in from, or even YouTube if you are watching the video from YouTube. Share this episode with a fellow founder that you know who you think might need to hear it, who might need the gentle kindness or the gentle, oh, now I've lost the word, but you know what I mean. Seriously, when you take that moment to share this episode, it helps this show grow so much, and it allows me to keep bringing you these deep, meaningful conversations like today's. So I would deeply appreciate it if you did. And of course, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss next week's episode, because we have another heart to heart coming your way. And I'm super excited to come back and share what that's going to be soon. But that's it for today, loves. So again, thank you for taking the time to join me, and I hope that you got something out of today's episode that is going to support you in your business and how you serve your clients. But I'll see